my first graders. Today we are going to be creating a portrait. A portrait is a drawing of a person. Our portrait is going to be of Martin Luther King Jr. and it will look like this. Here's what you're going to need to create this portrait with me. You are going to need a pencil. You are also going to need a piece of paper or something to draw on. For our coloring tools, you'll need some crayons, as well as this box that came in your black tote bag that has multicultural skin color crayons. And an optional tool is a black marker, just like this, or it can be a Crayola marker as well. Once you have all of these art tools, then we can get started.
The person we are going to be drawing today is named Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was one of the most important people in the civil rights movement. You might be wondering, what was the civil rights movement? This was a push to gain equal rights for all people, regardless of the color of their skin. The movement supported everyone being treated with kindness and respect. When Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was born in 1929, not everyone was treated fairly. Black people could not eat at the same lunch tables, go to the same schools, or even use the same bathrooms as white people. If people spoke up about it to say that they did not agree with this, they would be hurt or sometimes even go to jail. When Martin Luther King Jr. was growing up, he saw how people were treated differently based on the color of their skin. He wanted to make a change. By the time he was an adult, MLK started marching, making speeches, and spreading a message of peace. His message was this: "I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character." Through Martin Luther King Jr.'s hard work, many rules were changed and Black people started to be given more respect and more rights. Although Martin Luther King Jr. is no longer alive today, we remember and honor him for all that he did, especially on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which is on January 18th. He is a hero whose dream helped bring change for all people to be treated with kindness and respect. Now that we've learned who Martin Luther King Jr. was and what he did, we are going to start our portrait of him. We're first going to begin by creating a circle in the center of our page, and that will be his head. So let's go ahead and start creating a circle in the center of our page towards the top, and it will look just like this. Our next step is to create his ears. We're going to start on the left-hand side right at the edge of his head, and we're going to create some ears. The first ear will be a C shape right on the side of his head like this. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Another curved line, just like that. Now we're going to create a little C shape on the inside of his ears. So there's our first C shape. And then same on the other side, except a backwards C, just like that. Now we are going to create his hair. His hair is going to start on the left-hand side, and it's going to curve up, straight at the top, and then curve back down. Now we're going to work on his nose. His nose will be a U shape in the middle of his face, like that. And then his nostrils will be 2 little curved lines right next door. There's our 2 curved lines. For the bridge of his nose, we're going to create 2 curved lines that go up like this. Now we'll move on to his eyes. We are going to create 1 curved line on top and then a curved line on the bottom. Same on the other side, curved line on top and curved line on the bottom. Now we need to create his pupils, which will be 1 oval in the center of each of his eyes. Now we can work on his eyebrows. For his eyebrows, we're going to create a curved line above his eye that goes down and then across. Then another curved line on the top to close that shape. Same on the other side, down and across. Another line on the top to close the shape. Our next step is going to be to draw his lips right here underneath his nose. We're going to create a hill shape that curves out like that on one side, and another hill shape on the other side. Then we're going to create a curved line that connects both of those parts of his lips, just like that. We're going to create a curved line in the middle, right across. Take your pencil and draw that curved line all the way across his lips. Martin Luther King Jr. had a mustache, so we're going to go ahead and add in his mustache in between his nose and his lips. His mustache will start on the left. We'll draw a curved line that follows the shape of his lips all the way across like that. Then we're going to create the same type of line on the top, curving all the way around his lips, underneath his nose, and then closing that shape here. We are going to color in his mustache later on. Let's add some details. We're going to create two lines that come out next to his nose, one curved line here on one cheek, another curved line here on his other cheek. Next, we'll create one hill shape on his chin, just like that. It's time to add his shoulders, which will be two curved lines that come out underneath his head. Our first curved line will come out all the way down to the bottom of our page. Our right-hand side will be the same curved line all the way to the bottom of the page. Next, we'll add his shirt collar. His shirt collar is going to start on the left, slanted line out from the edge of his face, and then a curved line to close that shape and bring it towards his face, just like that. Same on the other side, slanted line out, and then a curved line back in towards his face. There's his collar. We're now going to work on his tie. His tie will come out with a slanted line from the edge of that collar, straight line across, and then slanted line back up towards his collar. Finishing his tie here, we're going to create a slanted line all the way down to the edge of the page, just like this. Another slanted line on the other side. And we're finished drawing our portrait. Now we're going to move on to coloring. Woohoo! Here's what I'm going to be using to color in our portrait. A black marker to color in his eyebrows, his hair, his eyes. Also, a black crayon is an option if you don't want to use a marker. Pink for the color of his lips. Blue for the color of his tie. Green for the color of our background. And we're going to use this multicultural skin color crayons pack for the color of his skin. It's important that our portrait looks like Martin Luther King Jr., so I'm going to choose a brown crayon because he did have brown skin. And now we are ready to color. And I'm also going to add in some brown to his lips here because a lot of the times our lip color is like a pinkish brown color.
Amazing job, first graders! We created a portrait of Martin Luther King Jr. Remember to take a picture of your beautiful artwork and post it here on Seesaw so that Ms. Rodriguez and I can see your portrait. I will see you all very, very soon. Bye!